The next chapter that we are going to see is strategic performance measures in the NPOs. First, what is NPOs? What are the main characteristics of NPOs? So all these non-profit organizations will work towards one charitable purpose, one or many charitable purposes. They will be performing all the non-economic activities, and there is a concept of maintenance of corpus fund. So here there is no shareholders or shareholders wealth. Instead, we have corpus funds which will be utilized towards the charitable purposes. And since there are no shareholders or no profit, it is not working towards profit, we don't distribute the profit also. So if any surpluses, if any we get, we will add it to the corpus funds again. If there are no profits and if there is no need to share the profits, then what is the point of performance measurement? Why do we have to measure this? We still have to measure the performance because all the contributors will contribute the funds to the NPO based on the performance only. If the NPO is not performing well, nobody will be willing to contribute more to the NPO. So that is why we have to measure the performance. And what will be measured? Is it only the financial or non-financial measures also? So we will be measuring both financial and non-financial measures for calculating the overall performance of the NPOs. Now, what are the challenges in measuring these performances? So there are four main difficulties that we face. First one is it is difficult to quantify the costs and benefits. So let's say an NPO is providing free education to all the children of a particular area. Then the benefit is derived in future. Only when the children grow up and only when they become knowledgeable, and only then the benefit is derived. There is a time gap between the cost and the benefit derived also. And the benefits we are not able to quantify also. Let's say the education that we are providing is benefiting the students, but how do we quantify it? How do we measure it? That is a difficulty. So what is a way out that is possible to beat this challenge? We can use opportunity cost and opportunity value, or we can use relative values to measure the cost and benefits. And the second difficulty is performance of state. State is government here. So there is a dependence of our performance on government in two ways. The first one is an indirectly proportional dependence. That is when, let's say, the government and the NPO has same objective, and they want to provide free education to the students of a particular area, and NPO also wants to provide the same. Now, how much the government is providing will indirectly affect the performance of the NPO also. Let's say the total area is this much, 100 children, and the government is providing free education to 80. Then the NPO has to only perform on balance 20 people. So that is how the performance is indirectly proportional here. And the second type is where the government is funding the NPO. When the government is funding the NPO, if the funding increases, the performance of the NPO also increases. And likewise, if the funding decreases, and the performance of the NPO also decreases. In that case, it is directly proportional. Is there a way out for this? There is no way out to measure the performance when there is a dependency on government, because it is beyond our control. And third one is multiple objectives. When there is a presence of NPO, there are involvement of various stakeholders. All of them will have a different needs. So how are we going to achieve all of these objectives? One way out is prioritization. We will prioritize it based on their mission, their vision, their goal, and we'll do one by one. And finally, measuring utility of funds. So it may happen that when we have excess resources or when we have surplus of funds, we will spend on a particular project extensively, and or it may happen that when there is a scarcity of funds, we will have an objective but we will not be able to fulfill it because of the scarcity. So even the spending without any purpose does not create any utility, which is why we should measure the utility also. But again, utility measurement is a bit difficult. What is the way out? Way out is value for money framework, which we will see later. And now that we know how to measure it and what are the challenges involved in measuring the performance, let's see what are the models available for measuring the performance. So there are three models. First one is value for money framework. Second one is adapted balance scorecard. And finally, we have some few other models. Let's see the value for money framework first. Here there are three concepts: triple E's: effectiveness, efficiency, and economy. So effectiveness will tell you when we are spending money, we should be getting value for it equally. So there should be a value for the money that we are spending on any project. So how can we do it? We can do it effectively by spending wisely. Here you have to spend wisely. This is a goal approach or an output related output. This is related to output only. Here we will see whether the organization has achieved its mission or objectives, anything is achieved or not based on the money that is spent. And the second thing is efficiency. Here we will see if the money is spent well. Well in the sense the maximum output is derived out of minimum input. That is optimum utilization of resources. So this is a process based approach, and here there is a link between input also and output also. Here we are just checking if the inputs are effectively utilized and maximum output is derived. So this is spend well. And finally we have economy. This is spend less. So this is an input measure. Here we will check all the resources or approaches to the resources. Here we will check whether the quantity and the quality of the products are available at the lower cost. Here we are reducing our cost. And also nowadays two more E's have been added. This is three E's. Nowadays two more E's have been added. First one being equity, which is spent fairly. Fairly in the sense everyone should be equal in the eyes of the NPO. And second one is ethics. Here spend properly. Properly in the sense ethics should be followed whenever we are spending it. So there are now 5 elements including effectiveness, efficiency, economy, equity, and ethics. So equity will be outcome approach and ethics will be impact approach. That is the first model. The second model that we'll see is adapted balance scorecard by Kaplan. So the adapted balance scorecard suggests us 4 perspectives on which we have to look into it, and what should we focus on these all these perspectives. So first one will be customer perspective, whether all our spending and whether all our performance is providing satisfaction for the beneficiary, and whether there is a growth in the market also, that we have to see in this customer perspective. And second one is financial perspective, whether our fund is rising, whether there is a growth in our fund, and whether the fund is distribution is also here, whether the fund is distributed properly to fulfill the objectives. And third, we have internal process perspective. Here we will see whether the internal processes are efficient, whether there is a volunteer development, and whether the information flows properly, whether there is a proper communication, and whether there is a quality in the process also. And finally, we have innovation and learning perspective. Here we will check whether the organization is capable to adjust to the changing environment. And nowadays, since there are a lot of innovative changes, the organization should be flexible to adapt to any changes. From these adapted balance scorecard method, we can see not just the financial perspective is important for the NPOs, there are also 3 more perspectives which they have to look into it to measure their performance. And finally, we have other measures like whether the quality of the services are good, whether the organization is able to achieve its objectives and mission, whether they are able to raise funds, and whether they are able to provide us with the transparent and periodic reports to all the stakeholders, and whether there is a long term impact of the activities. It should not be short term, their benefit should be long term. So this is the process and how to measure it. Now we'll see what the whole process in a nutshell. So the first thing will be the organization should identify its objectives, and they should also evaluate their mission, their vision, and the strategy of how they are going to fulfill their objectives. Here they will include all the 4 perspectives, and the organization should try to map all the objectives and missions with the strategies for each of these perspectives. And while we are doing it, we should also define our key performance indicators. Like let's say for the customer growth, We will check the number of beneficiaries that we are providing the benefits to. That is just an example. And once the key performance indicators are defined, we will now measure the actual outcomes, and we will evaluate it against the defined key performance indicators, and we will analyze all the outcomes. And if there are any changes, if there is any gap between this actual and what is defined and what is actual, then we will analyze it, and we will check whether any changes has to be made. And after the changes, again performance has to be measured periodic basis. So that is the whole chapter. Thank you.